YouTube, what's good, family? You already know the name, Pays and Plays podcast here. Before we get into it, hit the like button, subscribe, pass the word, comment down on these divisions. I will be doing now the AFC conference. If you haven't already, please check out the NFC conference. I did a whole from west to north. So I'll be doing the same thing for the AFC side. Let's get right into it with the AFC West. That's what we're gonna start with, and let's start from the bottom. We're gonna go way up. So we're gonna start with the Denver Broncos. Win prop 5.5 plus 2,000 to win the AFC West. They won't win the AFC West, but 5.5. I would lean over. Yeah, I would lean over. But I don't really know, bro, because this team. For one, you let Russell Wilson go and you got what, $85 million in dead cap. Kind of hurting your team. I was shocked that Sean Payton went with Bo Nix, but then when you start hearing him rave, he ain't seen nobody throw since Drew Brees. Yeah, I was just confused with that when you just got Zach Wilson, which I know, I guess you can call it whatever it is, his career is nowadays, but I thought my idea, you should have went with the trenches, either offense or defensive side of the line, and then you worry about quarterback next year, right? Because you know the possibility of having, you can have either Quentin Ewers, Shedeur Sanders, any of those quarterbacks available next year in this upcoming drive. I thought that would have been more logical, but hey, it's do or die for Sean Payton, it seems like already. And the defense is still there. I think the only real tough thing about Denver is that you playing at Denver, like the altitude and all of that stuff. That's like really a main advantage, right? Because it is the highest point in like the NFL, right? Because it's Denver. I see the defense improving like they were doing, but they need to stop the run, bro. Because towards the end of the year, where they had opportunities to possibly make the playoffs, they were getting torched in the run game. That Lions game was a perfect example against the Patriots with Billy Zappi as backup coming in for the Patriots and winning. It was just certain things like that. I think they go over the six, I mean the 5.5, because I think they may sweep the Raiders. They may have a better overall talent level than the Raiders. And in that division, that's how it is. And you might get a win against the Chargers. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. But yeah, I could be wrong on that. If they could split about at least two out of the three teams in the division, then we can probably see that 5.5 total hit. Next team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders 6.5 plus 900 to win a division. I got to go on under. I just think it's going to be a tough year now. You know, I support, and I mess with Antonio Pierce, right? As the player, as the coach, as the motivational speaker, as the way he talk. You can sense the leadership, right? And you can sense like the way he carries himself. Everyone wants to play for him. You see why Max Crosby wants to be a Raider for life. However, though, I don't know about Gardner Minshew as your starting quarterback. I just don't know that. I mean, he last year he did okay for the Colts because, well, he came in as from the backup and did what he had to do. However, though, I was kind of questioning that Bowers draft pick when you could have went defense. I mean, you could have went so many other ways with that pick. You know, I think it was between, they said it was a coin flip between Bowers and Arnold, the corner the Lions ended up drafting. You definitely need help at corner after losing Amik Robinson. I mean, with the Raiders, bro, the drafting just has not been good. I mean, y'all remember what was it? Now a few years ago, they had 3 first-round picks. Yeah, they're not even on the team no more, right? We know about the Henry Ruggs situation. I mean, bro, like they just have not been. I can let me see. The last time I think they drafted pretty good was probably what, Nasi Asamoah in the first round, and bro, that was when I think they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucks. That was probably the best pick they had in the first round since forever. I mean, you can go back in the history and check that, man. I don't know, but I do like the Christian Wilkes pickup. You know, having him with Tyree Wilson and Crosby, that could be a solidified, solid defensive line. And my bold prediction, I'm just gonna say, I think they're gonna last in the division just because I don't think they have the quarterback to compete, man. And maybe I'm hating on Gardner to a degree, but I think Gardner is a good plug-in guy for, if you have a quarterback already and he's the backup, or if you got a young quarterback coming in, I think that's what he's good for. I gotta give him his props to a degree. He's been serviceable, but I just don't know when you have to deal with the Chiefs, you have to deal with the Chargers, and the Broncos have opportunities too. It's just you need a quarterback to compete on that level, and I just think them getting Bowers in the first round. I'm not knocking them, but you already have a tight end though. I mean, so what you gonna do? You gonna go two tight end sets, and then running the ball? I mean, you got what, Addison from Minnesota, but that's it. Amir Abdullah. I mean, it's just a lot of questions on the offensive side. The defensive side, I think it will work itself out, but it's the offense right now that I'm really having a lot of questions on. All right, next team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Still weird saying that because I'm so used to San Diego Chargers all my life, but Chargers 8.5 is the win total, plus 350 to win the NFC. Let me say that. The West. I'm just gonna say the West, AFC West, right? I would lean over. I think with Jim Harbaugh coming in, I mean, I could at least see a 9-8 team and possibly a playoff team with them. I do think I'm going to say the bold prediction is they make playoffs and they can at least split with Kansas City. A lot of teams just have not beaten Kansas City in this division. I mean, if you do, it's like one time in the last 3-4 years. Harbaugh, the thing about them though is the question is the depth, right? We know you got Bosa and Khalil Mack, but then after those guys, right, as far as your linemen, that's about it, right? Linebackers, they're mid. The corners is mid too. The best defensive player, if you ask me, would be Derwin James. I think he's honestly the best defensive player on that team, and we see what he can do but I mean, he's been doing it by himself. So we're gonna see what Harbaugh brings into the picture. And with the offense, I mean, you got new running backs now, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. They should be a lot better than Austin Eckler and I don't even know the other guy they had, but it's really on Herbert, right? And then, the receivers too. So that's what I said about depth because you got Palmer and you got Quentin Johnson, but I haven't seen much of him since he left TCU. So I still have some doubts with that because he had 2 years at least to prove himself, and I mean I haven't seen anything honestly with him. Even though TCU he was a dog. I just think Herbert will make the plays happen. And with Harbaugh being there as a quarterback guru, we see what he do with quarterbacks. I think they contend with the Chiefs. I think they can at least get one win on the Chiefs. And hell, they probably will cover the spread against the Chiefs. One of those games. I don't know what the number would be, but if it's anything over like 3, you might have to take the Chargers on that one. Yeah, I just see Harbaugh change his team around once he comes in and does what he has to do. And lastly, with the division, we got the back-to-back division champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Win prop 11.5, minus 230, heavy juice as the favorites to win the division, self-explanatory with them. I would lean over 11.5, but we know when it comes to them in the season, they really don't care for some of these games. But the one thing I will say is pay attention to around November, December. This is when they start to actually have those little win streaks. If you know me, I've always been kind of on that path when it comes to them and picking like them towards late in the year because they start waking up. It's really all up to that. I mean, obviously you got a whole entire season, but their mindset is let's get through the season. Let's win about 11 games. and let's go into the playoffs because we see what they do when it matters most. And I don't really know how much to explain about the Chiefs, but the bold prediction would be to three-peat. I don't think we haven't seen a three-peat. I can't even remember last time I seen a three-peat. I don't even think that's happened. Probably if you go back to Dallas, maybe. I don't think New England has ever even did it. So I know it's going to be a hard thing to do, but I will say if any team can do it, it will be the Chiefs because you got Patrick Mahomes in that team and you got Andy Reid and his coordinators, Matt Nagy, Steve Spagnuolo, two former head coaches as well. So they have some familiarity and the intelligence, obviously, to be still in the NFL, regardless of them not being head coaches anymore. So, you know, it'll be an interesting division. However, like I said, if I order it, I would say Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. That concludes it for the AFC West. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment.